Thank you for joining in today. We're going to do some studio updates as well as actually have a special guest join us in a little while, and we'll have a joint announcement with my guest. Just wanted to update you on all things Breakout Studios and our online classes and all the goodness that we have coming at you on YouTube Live. We have some great new fitness classes. Wayne Barnett is actually doing a 6:30 a.m. Rise and Shine cardio strength class on Mondays and Fridays. So we're adding that to the schedule. We'll be adding more over the next week as we go into the May lineup, but that's our latest edition. Monday, Friday, we have an awesome new 6:30 a.m. class with Wayne Barnett, so watch out for that. Also, we have a new addition. We have a new platform for you all. We created a membership on Patreon, which will give access to not only the content that we have on YouTube and the over 90 videos we've already produced, but we're going to be doing some exclusive content. And the content that we'll be talking about today with my special guest will actually be archived on our Patreon account. And so it's going to be awesome. The Patreon account will have exclusive content. We'll have maybe a podcast in the future, exclusive video. We're going to be doing our summer intensive, and we'll be doing videos of the intensive and all the classes on our Patreon account and all that amazingness. It's going to be www.patreon.com/BreakoutStudios5678 is to get to our page and to join. It's only $19.99 a month to access all that amazing content. So again, all the YouTube content plus some exclusive content for just those members. Longer classes, specialty classes, workshops, a possible podcast, and so much more. So you definitely want to jump on there and check it out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask my special guest to request to join the video, and we will go ahead and make an announcement together. Some exciting news, and again, it'll be airing here and then going to our Patreon account. So I'll wait for our special guest to request to join in. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. Yes. Got some people joining in. All right. Let's see here. Joining in on the call. This is the first time I've used this feature, so everyone bear with me, please. There's Michael.
Is this thing on? How's it going?
How you doing, man? Good. Thank you for joining me.
Doing all right, doing well. I'm gonna turn you over here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'll close the door here.
No problem. So everyone, I'm sure you know my guest today, Michael Montoya, incredible local artist, hip hop instructor, tattoo artist, vocalist. I could go on and on about all the things that you do so well. But I'm having you on today to announce with me and chat with me about a conversation that you and I will be having tomorrow at 10 a.m. And it's sort of a start to what could potentially turn into a podcast or maybe another media form for Breakout. You and I had a podcast, the Life Moves podcast, a while back, and we were revisiting that concept, and so we're super excited. So we'll be having a conversation tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I'll give a quick little bit on that, and then we can just have a discussion. But we'll be talking about growing up here in Tucson, the dance community, how you and I had totally different paths and they merged, and we had an incredible time, and how organic our work was. And I've been thinking back about all the stories and actually chatting with Jez a little bit. I think you did as well, about how crazy moments we had. So do you want to touch on that at all, or say anything about what we possibly could be talking about?
Well, first off, the Life Moves podcast that you talked about that we did a few years back was kind of an inside the actor's studio for different choreographers that we admired and just thought would be fun to have a long form, unfiltered conversation about different dancers, different movers, about their lives, how they grew up, and it was fascinating to see how diverse everybody's journey was. But yet at the same time, I know me personally, I was able to connect to everybody's story that we were talking to, even though it was so different than mine. So I'm glad this is happening again. You know, I think it'd be cool. I want to see it. I want to hear it, whatever it's going to be. Growing up in Tucson, I mentioned when I was teaching in my last class that I started teaching when I was a teenager, and I could be wrong, but I believe I started teaching for a Tucson dance company, which was, you know, Breakout in its original form before it kind of, you know, transitioned to Breakout, different owners, all this stuff. Anyways, so still Todd Wilson, the Wilson family. I started teaching for them when I believe I was 19 years old, and taught them consistently for a long time. And even when I moved to LA, you know, it's throughout the years, if I ever kind of dabbled in jumping back into teaching here and there again, it was always through Breakout. It was always through this place. And so 19 years old, I'm 42 now. So, I mean, just that alone is pretty ridiculous. And when we, when I was talking with Jez, another Breakout faculty member, and we were exchanging all these different stories about, you know, growing up in Tucson, pre-internet, being able to, now if you're a dancer, hopefully you'll kind of understand this depending on how old you are. Before we were able to mix our dance mixes digitally, we were mixing these mixes with double deck cassette recorders, you know, and figuring out how to manipulate these overlapping sounds to create a sound effect and all these different things, you know. So you had a lot of dancers that would get mixes done by DJs that didn't really understand how dances would work. So once, you know, I mean, there's all these different eras that, you know, that we kind of grew up in. And yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff. It's probably going to make us sound really old and cranky, but
that's okay. That's expected with these types of conversations. So it's okay. Well, that's awesome. So tomorrow, again, everyone will be chatting at 10 a.m. Pacific. Michael and I will be talking about growing up here in Tucson, dance community, and all the madness that ensued. And then that same day, Michael, you'll be teaching a class at 7 p.m.?
Yes. Yep. This is tomorrow, correct?
Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow, Wednesday. Yes, 7 p.m. teaching
awesome.
The Snap Snap dance.
Snap Snap dance. It's a famous, iconic Snap Snap dance. You'll have to tune in to know why we call it the Snap Snap dance. You do not want to miss it. You have to add it to your rep because, like Michael said, you might have us one day. I'll do a giant Snap Snap flash mob.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you, Michael, for joining me, and thank you everyone for tuning in. And again, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, we'll be having a great chat here on Instagram Live, and then that conversation will be posted on our new Patreon account. So thank you so much. Thanks, Michael. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.